Alright, guys, we're going to end our episode again with a discussion on faith. And we're actually going to be starting a series which is devoted. He's so confused. We're going to be starting a series which is devoted to the fruits of the Spirit. Okay?
Oh, okay.
So, do we. I'll
This is
say
my
them
first.
all right now.
This is my first.
Yeah, it's
time
first time hearing it. I just made an executive decision that we're going to be doing this. And the 9 fruits of the Spirit are love, joy, peace, gentleness,
Patience,
goodness,
kindness,
faithfulness,
yeah.
self-control,
Oh yeah, self-control.
and finally, what we're going to be discussing today, patience, like you said.
Yeah, I didn't know we were going in a specific order.
It's not an order, but I'm just... Okay. So, today we're going to be discussing patience, and I think patience is something that, we think about in just the everyday world of, having patience, whether that's just having patience with other people, having patience with yourself, and just understanding, like, who you are as a person and how you need to, not always be willing to just have everything at once. I think this world glorifies instant gratification. I know that I'm a victim of it at times as well, just wanting things to happen when I want them to happen. And I think, having a great relationship with God, you need to have patience at times, because you're not always going to get what you want, but you will always get what you need. And I think one verse that really just exemplifies that sentiment is Proverbs 14:29. And it what?
You took my scripture.
Wow, we can just elaborate on it further. We don't discuss, guys, for context, we don't discuss what the other is going to be talking about normally. So, it just shows that we're on the same wavelength, I guess. So, it says, whoever is patient has great understanding, but one who is quick-tempered displays folly. And I think, patience, it's a sign of wisdom, because it takes a lot of restraint to not, beg for something that you just want right then and there. And folly, that word, I had to look it up because I didn't know what it meant at first, but kind of means foolishness. So if you're not displaying wisdom, the opposite of that is just being dumb. And I know that's a blunt way of saying it, but yeah, at times it's like you're not looking at things in the right way, because you're not seeing what God sees. Instead of putting your whole submission to Him and expecting Him to know you better than you know yourself, because that is true. He knows us better than we know ourselves, and He knows what we need, when we need it, and how we need it. And so I think, it takes practice, to develop patience. And I think, like I said, in the everyday world, you have to, use patience. And I think allowing yourself to, practice that on yourself, not being too hard on yourself. I think for me at times, I can use a real world example for me right now when I'm trying to work out at the gym and I'm not seeing all the results that I want. I have to exercise patience to understand that, each day I'm sowing into what I'm going to try to look like a year or two from now. And what I'm doing right now, it will show up then and there. But of course, again, we all want instant gratification. I wish right now I could have the dream body that I want, But the work that I'm putting in, it will be reflected when I see the results. And that's the same thing with God. He wants us to be able to trust in Him, be patient in what He is giving us, and then we will be rewarded. And it's always right on time. Also, right when you need it. Sometimes when you least expect it, and sometimes when you do expect it, He strikes. So that's what I have to say on patience.
Nice scripture to take from and everything too, with all that. But
you said scriptures earlier. So.
I did. I see. Because I
you have stuff in your arsenal. Good.
Yeah, I do, and but yeah, for me, with patience, I think a lot of times we don't understand how much it's needed in our everyday lives. You know, like whether it's not even just working out, as you said, like trying to get your body right, but you know, exercising patience for when you're trying to learn something new, or exercising patience when you're trying to achieve a certain goal, as you said, or even in our relationships as well too. Like there's like we are imperfect in different ways, and there are people we gotta deal with that have flaws, that or bad habits even, that we may not like and everything too, and that takes a lot of patience and everything as far as that goes. And so patience is all around us. It's in everything we do, in all of our relationships even too. And so like, why is it important to have it? And it's so important because God really does require that of us, to have patience. And scripture that does come to mind is Psalms 37:7. It reads, "Be still before God, before the Lord. Wait patiently for him and entrust yourself to him. Do not fret, whine, agonize because of him who prospers in his way, because of the man who carries out wicked schemes." And so this practicing patience with God, like as far as like just being patient, because again, life is, you're going to go through so many ups and downs and everything. And then even when you think about all the people in the Bible too, from Moses and Noah, and like again, think about that. Noah had to be patient with all the animals on the ark, and he had to be like building the ark too as well. And that takes a lot of discipline. Like patience is a discipline that you cultivate. Exactly. Like there are times where, again, like in the Bible, there's so many stories of people just like being angry, not just at like with in their relationship, but like with God too as well, like just being angry and all that. And then like the final scripture I do want to say is 1 Corinthians 13:4-8. Love endures with patience and serenity. Love is kind and thoughtful, is not jealous or envious. Love does not brag and is not proud or arrogant. It is not rude, it is not self-seeking, it is not provoked. It does not take into account a wrong endured, and it goes on, but it just shows that there's nothing impure about impatience, almost, in a way, Like, everyone needs that. Everyone needs to have that in order to grow in general. If you're trying to grow in your relationship with God, you have to be patient. You have to be patient during the times that are good and during the times that are bad, too, as well. And so just practicing patience with that, and then even practicing patience with like I said, friends and family, co-workers, everybody, like you're practicing patience on a daily basis. And so it's just so important to understand the value of patience, understand the value of understand that it's a discipline. Like it's something that needs to be practiced on a daily, because again, it's not easy to be patient. It's not, if everyone was patient, it would be a different world we lived in and everything. But it's a discipline that God requires of us, that Jesus requires of us as well too, as far as dealing with this world and everything, dealing with the evils of this world. Because again, this world will hurt you. This world will bring you down in different ways. It will, like financial struggles or food insecurity, poverty, all those different things. And even your mental health as well. And like again, just wishing and thinking to yourself, man, I want to be better now. Like, why do I got to go through seeing a therapist, or why do I got to go through counseling? Why do I got to take this medicine and everything? Why can't I be better now? And it's a mindset thing, because there's so many people that struggle with that, and understandably so, because it's not easy being patient. It's it's arguably one of the hardest things you can do and everything. And it's hard to like be patient. It's hard to be because with patience there's also hope as well too. Like those two go hand in hand. There's hope in there, and like there's a quote that talks about how we can't live a second without hope and everything. And so we got to be patient in hopes that we can get better. We can get over this hump that we're dealing with, over this struggle that we're dealing with, over the temptations that are like going through with us. And so I just encourage everyone to just, again, keep hope alive by being patient. Keep hope alive by, practicing patience, by understanding that it's a discipline and mindset that requires continuous work day in, day out. It's a muscle almost for just in general that you have to work out on a daily basis. And if you keep working it out, if you keep patience, keep hope alive, then good things are in store for you. I pray and hope.
Yeah, that's good. For next week, Zeke kind of like his verse, 2 Corinthians 4:8.
Yeah.
That kind of highlighted a little bit of what we're gonna talk about next week, and that is
not
love.
4 and 8. My bad.
4-8, something.
I'll make sure.
Whatever.
13, 4-8. 13,
okay.
4-8. Yeah.
Well, you were talking a little bit about the topic of love, and I think that's something that we're gonna discuss next time. So,
love.